4 races to go, and in addition to that, 2 sprints. We have a sprint weekend here as one of them. Let's get ready to talk about the classic title decider with so many storylines over the years. Let's get ready to talk about the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. And it is a packed weekend in terms of the schedule around Interlagos, with F4 Brazil as well as the Porsche Sprint Challenge and the Carrera Cup supporting. I'll give local times, and then for the F1 ones I will tell you the UK times, which are adding 3 hours onto it. F4 Brazil kicks off action on Friday at 9:05, and then you have FP1 11:30 local, that is 2:30 UK. It then gets into the Porsche qualifying for the Sprint Challenge at 1 PM local, and then at 2 PM local qualifying for Porsche Carrera Cup. F1 Sprint qualifying is at 3:30 local, 6:30 UK, before qualifying for the F4 is going to be at 5 PM local. In terms of Saturday, the first F4 race will be at 9:25 local time, followed by the F1 Sprint at 11 o'clock or 2 PM UK time. Then you have the first races for the Porsche Sprint Challenge and the Carrera Cup, 12:30 local, 13:35 local, before F1 qualifying at 3 PM local time, 6 PM UK. F4 will round out the on-track action on the Saturday at 4:35 PM local time. And then on Sunday they will kick off with the third race at 9:20, the Sprint Challenge at 10:10 and the Carrera Cup at 11:10. Before the Grand Prix starts at 2 PM local time, 5 PM UK time. And in terms of the weather forecast, there is a chance to rain over the course of the weekend, though it's looking most likely, if anything, that it will happen on the Saturday morning before the sprint. There may be some drizzle as the day goes through, but most of the storm is actually happening over the course of the weekend and wrapping up around now. So it could be that we end up with a fully dry weekend when it comes to the on-track action, but expect that the track will be green at some points thanks to some drizzle and spittle and maybe some light rain. So what I'm saying is, don't expect the wild 2024 weekend. You know, the one where McLaren got a 1-2 and switched around the positions when it came to the sprint, so the Lando Norris could salvage a bit of a title bid. Leclerc was in third, Verstappen was in fourth when it came to the sprint, and then the Grand Prix we had that torrential downpour. And whilst Norris was on pole from George Russell from Tsunoda, from Ocon from Lawson, and Verstappen was down in 12th. He ended up taking some power unit penalties to go into 17th. He charged through to win, get the fastest lap, and the podium was rounded out as a double podium by the Alpines, with Norris in 6th and Piastri in 8th. So who are our ones to watch this weekend? I don't put money on Alpine, don't put money on like Haas getting another kind of K-Mag pole position like we saw a few years ago either. I would say Verstappen is one to watch. And if the surface continues to be as nice as it has been, you could potentially see a Ferrari or a Mercedes coming into the party as well to mix it with the McLarens and Verstappen. That is fully possible for this weekend. If there was rain, it's definitely the great equaliser when it comes to the field around Brazil, especially if it pours. But I would say the McLaren's probably going to be slightly better than they were last year in the Grand Prix. I would have a guess that Piastri will probably be a little bit closer to Norris as well in terms of pace, if not maybe even slightly ahead. When we look at this final run of races, it is quite closely matched between the two McLarens, even though the points advantage is now Lando Norris's, however minuscule it might be. Qatar is probably Piastri's strongest relative to Norris for the final handful of races, but given that and this one of sprint weekends, these are the times where he really needs to make the most of his opportunities and get ahead. But it is definitely a do not rule out Max Verstappen, especially given that he can just not have to worry about, you know, what happens if so-and-so gets past or this person gets past. He's just going to be driving the way that he wants to at 100%. Regardless, folks, as always, please let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching and joining. Hope to see you potentially on Monday when I'll be getting this review out. I just want to try and space everything out so I've got ample time to review it over the weekend. Alright, Till then, bye for now.